Terence Crawford trainer / manager Bomac came out stating that Terence Crawford next fight will be for a title, and then Errol Spence Later 2020. So the only titles that Top Rank and ESPN could get their hands on are the WBA at 147, which is Alexander, and the 154 WBO title, which I believe Patrick hold that title. However, he's suspended till the end of this month by Nevada. I'm not sure what he did to be suspended by Nevada till the end of this month. I'm not informed if he failed the drug test or whatnot. I'm not 100% on that. However, one thing for sure, that's the only two opponents that Terence Crawford could face for a title, since Bomac confirmed that to be a fact for Terence Crawford's next opponent. So as far as Terence Crawford goes, his next opponent for the moment, it won't be Shawn Porter, sadly for the fans. However, according to Bomac, is against a titleist. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Pieces and blessings upon all my Akhis and all my sisters out there. Welcome to Akhi TV. If you want to be part of the family and you want to become a hardcore boxing fan and you tired of being a casual fan, then attend the Akhi University for free. All you got to do is subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to these casual fans / old media. Now let's get straight to it. Now obviously Bomac came out with good and bad news. The bad news, Shawn Porter is not next. The good news, Terence Crawford's next opponent will be a champion. Either the WBA regular champion at 147 or the WBO champion at 154. Now the WBO has a rule, which is if you're a champion at a certain weight, you can move up to the next division and challenge for the WBO belt on that division without fighting any mandatories and just become a mandatory right away, right? Another rule by the WBO, if you're coming off a loss, you can't fight for the title. However, when your name is Lomachenko and you're on the hope list, you obviously get that pass and you can fight for the WBO, even if you're coming off a loss like he did to Salido. He fought for that belt right away against Gary Russell. However, that's just food for thoughts. But for the meantime, Terence Bud Crawford wants the winner of the Errol Spence versus Porter fight. I mean, I just don't understand fans sometimes. If Terence Crawford came out and said, I don't want to fight Porter, and he stated after that, I'm the A side, I don't want to fight Errol Spence either, then I could see why fans are upset at Terence Crawford. But when the pound for pound number one said, I don't want to fight the loser of the classic fight between Porter and the Truth, I want to fight the Truth himself and seek out the truth in the truth. See if he real or not. That's Terence Crawford mindset. So why are you getting critiqued for calling out the best and wanting to fight the winners? Because Terence is a winner. No disrespect to Shawn, but Shawn Porter is coming off a loss. Shawn Porter's best win is Danny Garcia. And yes, Terence want to fight Danny, but they have bad blood. Danny coming off a win now. And like I said, Shawn Porter, if he at least call out Terence Crawford himself, he will at least, like I said, put Terence on the spot where he has to respond and like, oh yeah, you done threw our friendship through the window. That's how you feel over money? All right, I'm going to give you your shot and I'm going to humble you. However, when Porter is being respectful, it's actually Kenny that wants to fight. Of course, Bud ain't going to be motivated and is not going to be getting up in the morning for that. Like I said, he wants the winner of that fight, and that's the truth. Errol Spence, and they will possibly fight at the end of 2020, according to Bomac. Now that that's out the way, let's get to the business at hand. Even though I know that's not out the way because most of the comments is going to be fans bashing Terence for avoiding Porter, even though that's not the case. Because if you think logically, not emotionally, and push your emotion aside, because me on one hand, Terence beat up all my favorite fighters, including my favorite fighter Gamboa at the time. But I still give Terence the pound for pound number one his credit because he earned it. So Terence always been consistent with what he said. Y'all got to keep that in mind. If you consistent, you get all the respect in the world. And Terence always been consistent. He never flip-flop like a lot of these fighters do. Even before Porter fought Errol Spence, he said he pulling for Porter because that's his friend. However, he want Errol Spence to win because he don't want to fight Porter, but he want to fight Errol Spence. So that being said, what makes you think he's interested in fighting Porter coming off a loss if he wasn't interested in fighting Porter coming off a win to an Errol Spence? So that point always remains. You don't just ignore that just to bash Terence. And obviously, Errol Spence fans gonna ride for Errol Spence. However, y'all could still give Terence his props. Because once Errol Spence fight Terence, and if he beats Terence, don't y'all want Errol Spence to get his credit for being the #1 pound for pound? Right? At the end of the day, it's all beneficial to y'all favorite fighter as well, if y'all give credit where credit is due. However, let's get straight to the business at hand and not waste time on what the casual fans think or even the hardcores that have different point of view. No disrespect. So let's get straight to it. Obviously, Terence's next opponent is either Alexandra or Patrick. Patrick is suspended. On the other hand, Alexander I'm not too familiar with. So it's a good look for Terence if he actually move up and win another title at a 4th weight division. That's something Lomachenko is not willing to do. So if he's capable of doing that, that will be a great look regardless of who the opponent is, because you got to fight who's available. However, Alexander at 147 is not so much of a great look because it's the regular title, and we all know the WBA regular title is not a real title according to the fans. And I'm not sure if Bud basically criticized Gervonta Tank Davis for winning the WBA title against Gamboa, or that probably would have been Ryan Garcia. But the point remains is the WBA title, it used to be just one. And if you defend your title 10 times, then you get the super title. You're a real champion now. You proved yourself. You don't have to fight your mandatories. But nowadays, they just handing out titles. So, me personally, I don't believe the WBA regular title is a good choice for Bud at this point. I feel like if he fight for the WBO title at 154, it's definitely a great look. So, that being said, I don't have no problem with Terence fighting Patrick at 154 instead of Porter. I would rather see the Porter fight, don't get me wrong, but I don't have no problem with him not fighting Porter like a lot of the fans do, because like I said, you see Terence calling out Errol Spence. You see Terence trying to call out Errol Spence bluff on Twitter, talking about, I'm going to call your phone, pick up. Since you talking about, you already told my boss what to do. You know what I mean? You out here making me look bad. I'm going to call your bluff. And he called him. And Terence, after he called the truth obviously picked up, and they had their little conversation, and then he retweeted. Man, this guy, he real as hell. So my point remains, both of them fighters are cut from the same cloth. Terence always kept the same energy. When they told him you ducking Postal, he fought Postal. When they told him you ducking Flex Diaz, he fought Flex Diaz. Now he might fight Porter just because they saying he's avoiding him. So at the end of the day, Terence always been real. He's always been a real, true champion. And he carried himself as such a true champion should. So, like I said, let's not get over ourselves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves claiming Terence is this and that when he's nothing but the truth. And I know that's Errol Spence's nickname, but both of them are. So, at the end of the day, you ain't putting pressure on Errol Spence the way Terence does if it ain't the truth. And till then, till we get that mega fight, the fight of the decade, even though the decade just started, the World War III in the boxing ring. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to these casual fans / old media. And if you're tired of being a casual fan and you want to become a hardcore boxing fan and graduate from the Akhi University, to attend the Akhi University, all you have to do is subscribe below. to be part of the family for free. If you're trying to get smart about the minute, if you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual fans / old media, like I say every single time. So follow my man Lunatune for the funniest boxing memes in the description box below. Cop the Akhi drip. If you want to be dripped up like the Akhi be on Split Decision, click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live on Split Decision, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and we out, and shout out to the GOAT DBN and for starting the new media wave. Shout out to new media, we the present, past, and the future of boxing. Peace.